So now we need to talk about arrays and know that an array is essentially stores a bunch of variables. In fact, if you think of variables, you know that a variable holds a memory location. I can say that the age equals a certain value, and so that value of that age will be stored in a memory location. Well, an array will hold a series of values. In fact, it will hold as many ages as you wanted, and then you can have an age equal 1, an age equal 2, etc., etc. You can have it equal a whole bunch of different values. And you can pull them up for different people. So if you had 10 people in a classroom and they all have different ages, well, I can say that for students ages 20 and ages 32, etc., I can use the same age variable but for different people. So an array is a list of data variables that have the same type and the same name. So when we declare an array, we declare it much like we would declare a variable. And what we have to do is store its data type. We have to say whether it's an integer or a character or a string, etc. We have to give it a type. We also have to declare it as an array, and the way that we do that is we use two brackets, an open and closed bracket, to indicate to the program that we are going to be using data type array. After that, we have to give it a name, and for this example, we are using customers. Now we have to fill the array, and we have to give it a size. Oh, that was supposed to say int. So we would say customers equals a new integer array of 20. So it's saying that it's going to hold 20 customers. The new operator creates an object for an instance. So the new int object for this array is called customers. In C#, you are able to change the size of an array. So what that means is that when we declare an array and we set it to a certain size, for example, if we say customer, this array is size 1, at any time we can say, anytime we can go back and say customer equals new integer 100. This is a special feature for C# and we cannot do this for any other language. So what is an array element? Well, each object or instance of data within the array is called an element. So if we thought about this for a second and we said, okay, well, age in customers is an element, so each index or particular section of the array, such as 0, such as 1, 2, 3, etc., all have the element of age. The subscript or index is essentially the location you are referring to. It is an integer value that appears between the brackets, and it indicates a position or location of a particular array element. Remember the example with the students. If I say student 2, then my index position would be 1 inside the array. And why is that? Because the first element in an array always begins with 0. So if I have a value of 20 as size 20, it goes from 0 to 19. So when we assign a value of an array, much like a variable, and I say age equals 20, we do the same thing with arrays, except we have to do it a little bit differently. For example, if we had 3 customers and we were storing the ages of 24, 36, and 56, we would assign it as customer 0 equals 24, customer 1 equals 36, customer 2 equals 56. And so we have to say the name of the array, in this case customer, then we have to use the brackets, and then inside the brackets we say what index or what subscript we're referring to. We're talking about index 0, and then that element is equal to 24. And then the index of 1, the element equals 36. And so when we output or print the array element to the screen, we pretty much print it just like we would a variable. And so what we have to do is, again, we say the name of the array, and then we say the index or the position of that particular array element, and then it would just output like it would a variable. In this case, a console.writeLine, and we put customer index 2, it will find whatever value is located in customer index 2, and I'll put it to the screen. So as a reminder, when dealing with arrays, the index is started at 0. So if we have 6 pieces of information or 6 customer ages located within the customer array, then your index range will be from 0 to 5. While in C#, we consider arrays to be objects because they are instances of the class array system.array. So we can initialize our array or set the values of the arrays by using initializer list, which means we create a list of values provided for an array. And there is a lot of different ways to do this, but they all pretty much work the same way. And what I mean by that, then we still would have to give it a data type. So we'd have to say integer, double, etc. We still have to give the array bracket and give it a name like a variable. In this example, we say double array breakpoint. Now the new operator is optional. So for in the first example, we are going to use new double, and the size of 4, and then we create an initializer list of 4 values. In the second example, we do not tell it has a size of 4 because when we use an initializer list, if you don't provide an array size, then the initializer list will serve as the array size. In other words, it will count how many values are within the initializer list, and then that will be the size of the array. In fact, you don't even have to do that. You can just say double array breakpoint and then have it equal an initializer list, and it will automatically create the instance of how many values are inside the initializer list. So either one of these three will work, but you just need to make sure you have a data type, say it's an array, give it